How's it going? I'm Austin Schindel, the Xfinity sports guy, and thanks to Xfinity, I'm pleased to be joined by John Bena from the Mile High Report. John, thanks for joining me.
Austin, appreciate you having me talking about the Broncos before a big game this weekend against the Saints. Thanks.
Absolutely, and I'll be in Denver this weekend for the big game, but we'll get to that later. We're going to start off with the run game, and behind closed doors, do you think that John Fox is more concerned with the offensive side of the ball, running the ball, or stopping the run?
You know, John Fox is a defensive guy, defensive coach, so my guess would be he's very concerned with the defense and their ability to stop the run. I think we've seen when the Broncos have struggled this year in games, it's been because, one, they haven't been able to get off the field on third down, and I think a major reason for that is they're not presenting themselves with good down and distance after giving up, big first down runs. I mean, they're in a lot of second and short, third and short, and when you do that, you're letting the offense dictate to you what what they can do and what you can't do. So if you asked him and if you gave him a true serum, I think he would say the run defense is definitely a bigger concern right now than anything on the offense.
Well, I've read a lot of things on Twitter and different columns in the Denver Post and on Mile High Report talking about being a conglomerate of the fact that they're getting off to slow starts and they can't run the ball themselves, so they have to pass the ball, putting their defense back on the field. It's really a chicken or the egg. What's the problem here? And I also read an interesting point about Tebow and just the way that the offense was run, in the fact that they were able to take up small chunks of yards here and there, though to be fair, they did say it was a bit deceiving. What's your opinion on the offensive side of the ball and the way they can correct it?
Well, I think some of it comes just from the fact that I think Peyton Manning has been trying to get a comfort level with his receivers, with the offensive line, with the rest of the offense. I think to be completely honest, I think there's been times where it's been a poor plan. I thought the Atlanta game, for one, they came out much too aggressive in a tough spot, tough place to play, prime time, trying to throw the ball all over the field, and obviously it led to the 3 interceptions. So I thought at times they could have done a better job maybe trying to go with a little more, I won't say ground and pound or anything like that, but just ball control, slowly get into the game, allow their defense to get into the game. That game's a prime example where the team did a great job. The defense did a great job early, despite all the turnovers, keeping the team in it. And other times they just, they've been out of sync. And I think a lot of that has to do with, Peyton Manning bringing, his system, so to speak, in, and the Broncos having to get a comfort level with him. I think last week in the second half, you started to see the Broncos, the receivers, the offensive line really get in sync with Peyton. And I think if you asked any Broncos fan, 3-3 would have been a good place to be, with how difficult the schedule has been. And now with Peyton Manning after the bye, finding that comfort level, I think you're really going to see that offense start to click this week.
Well, you almost took the words right out of my mouth. I was watching Red Zone this weekend, and Eli Manning throws that great touchdown pass at the end of the game, and all of a sudden, everyone's saying, who's better in the last 2 minutes still? Would you rather have Eli or Peyton? So the question I have for you is, are Broncos fans still as confident as Peyton now at 3-3 that they were when they first signed him?
They might be more confident. I think there were a lot of questions when they first signed him, both locally, nationally. Can he come back? I mean, is he healthy? Where's the arm at? Can he still do the things he used to be able to do, with the hurry up and all those types of things? And I think that answer has been a resounding yes. I mean, I think he's exceeded expectations if you really get down to it. The Broncos aren't 3-3 because of Peyton Manning, and from a negative sense. He's having a career year in a lot of respects. To me, whether you'd want Eli or Peyton, that's, chocolate or vanilla, I guess you can look at it. But from a Broncos fan perspective, I don't think you could find a Broncos fan who's not excited about what Peyton Manning's brought to this team. A legitimate passing game, a legitimate offense, and real success already for me. If he gets through the season healthy, the signing was a success. It was a huge success. So I think the Broncos are again primed and ready to really make a run the second half of the season with their schedule lightening, and Peyton Manning has to be considered right now a favorite for MVP.
Absolutely. So Final thing, I'll be there Sunday night. The Saints, you have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks going together. What's your final prediction?
You know, I think I like the Broncos in this game because I like the Broncos defense more than I like the Saints defense. I think it's good. You know, the over/under could be 80 in this game. I mean, I could see a 42-39. You know, and whichever team has the ball last could be the team that wins it. But I really think Denver has something to build on from 2 weeks ago. Just internally in that locker room, the place is going to be electric. Prime time Sunday night. You know, I really think this is the game the Broncos kind of show everybody that they plan on being a contender, plan on being there at the end of the season. So I like the Broncos in this one.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. I've been in Denver before. It's a great atmosphere, and I'm sure it'll be a great time. So make sure to follow John and the rest of the Mile High Report staff at milehighReport.com and follow them on Twitter at Mile High Report. John, thank you.
Thank you, Austin. I appreciate it. Have a great time.
This is Austin Schindel, the Xfinity Sports Guy, reminding you to follow Xfinity Sports for all your behind-the-scenes and insider content all season long.